Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew live on Brew Sports. We welcome you inside the studios on a Wednesday edition of our illustrious show. I am Baxter Colburn. That's Jaymee Evers. Good morning, Jaymee. How are you today?
I'm great. Good morning.
Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day.
Got it this week. Last week, you were just like, Hump Day, Hump Day. I'm like, yes, I know.
Pi Day and Hump Day all in 48 hours.
I was told that we failed to mention Pi Day yesterday.
Someone made a comment about it.
Jeff,
but
I think, got us, as he always does there in the mornings. Appreciate you, Jeff.
I didn't even realize that it was the 14th, so I didn't really pay attention. I was like, what is this guy talking about? I don't even like Pi that much. I don't care.
And it was like P.I. I'm like, you're missing an E, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like, come on, what are you talking about?
It was too early in the morning.
It is. It's a lot. It was Taco Tuesday, and it was Pi Day yesterday as well, too. I didn't have any tacos. I did have a pizza pie.
Ooh,
last night
that.
for dinner. Family went to go get some pizza.
Is it like 2 crusts and then pizza on the inside?
For what?
A pizza pie. Or are you just talking about a piece of pizza?
We just got straight pizza.
Oh.
We just got our own personal pizzas at Mod Pizza here in the great city of New Berlin.
Ooh.
Shout out to Mod. What up, Mod?
Fancy.
You have no idea how long my wife and I debated if it was Mod or Mood or Mod or like we had no idea.
Did you ask somebody?
We did. Like, it's Mod, like made on demand. I was like, well done. I was like, okay.
Sense.
I'm like, now I can move on with my life. But like when they were building and they just had the sign up, I was like, how do you say the name?
Drive past every day.
Literally like killing myself. I was like, what is going on? That's a brief glimpse into what goes through my head on a daily basis. Just tell me what's going on. No, I mean, a little bit anyway. But all right, we've got some great stuff for all of you people today. If you haven't heard, March Madness is in full swing. We are excited about that. Some of the play-in games took place last night. We're going to talk with Bleacher Report's David Kenyon here in just a little bit to get some insight into the games that took place last night, as well as looking ahead to some of the teams that are more like the mid-round teams where you're like, I'm a 6th through an 8th seed. Do I buy high on Maryland? Do I sell Miami? Do I think that Northwestern might be something? So we'll talk to him in just a little while about what exactly to expect as we get into the tournament a little bit deeper. And for those of you that are really holding out until the very last possible second to submit your brackets, David might give you some last-minute insight. But we'll get to him in just a little bit. We do, of course, want to remind you to comment of everything we're talking about today. Please share today's episode as well, too. That way your friends, your family, anybody, your dog, you never know. I mean, Jamie's cat Harold is one of our best watchers. He tunes in every morning, with his little meow mix and his favorite catnip. Just sits on the couch and checks us out. I'm sure exactly what happens. No. Anyway. Well, either way, Jamie, meow mix aside, we've got a good show in store for folks today. What is brewing this morning in the sports world?
The first thing I think we should talk about is the bat flip in last night's game. So if we all remember last year, there was that little the brawl between the Blue Jays and the Rangers.
Little brawl. People talked about it occasionally.
Yeah, in baseball, which,
Yeah, happens.
Once in a while.
I never understand that. How do you fight in baseball? Like when people rush the mound, like what do you do if you're seeing someone rushing you from the dugout? You've got like 90 feet to prepare yourself.
Yeah, and you can't run away. You can't run away because you're like a big old baby.
I suppose.
You gotta be like, it's my mound.
I would probably run away and be go away.
Yeah, and why are they always attacking on the mound too? Usually they're not like running to center field and because they're going to be winded by the time they get out there.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you never see the center fielders getting charged.
Well, typically, I think usually, too, unless there's like some sort of beef, it's like because someone got hit with a ball or something.
Right? Usually. That's usually what it is. Yeah, like the pitch is too close to somebody and they're just like, whoa, like what you watch where you're throwing that ball and all that, stuff.
Right.
Darn you. Meddling kids.
Not bat flips. So Venezuela was tied with Italy 2-2. And I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is it just
Odar?
Odar. Yeah. Hit a ball deep, thought he was going to do a little bit better than he did, flipped his bat and made it to first.
Woo! Well, I heard they thought it was going to be a home run. I think it hit off the top of the wall and then came back in.
Right.
Which I think is still considered a live ball, not an actual home run.
Correct.
Especially if it bounces back inside the park.
So he only made it to first, but everyone's making fun of him for being a hypocrite, for flipping his bat. Because he looks like a...
What the flippin' bat?
Because he looks... I don't know.
It looks stupid.
Yeah. It's a nice flip.
It's a great flip. But like,
looks supernatural.
Don't
flip too soon.
Don't flip too soon. Let everything happen and then flip.
Yeah, so Blue Jay fans are freaking out.
You're not Steph Curry. You can't take the shot, start walking back towards half court, put your hand up without even looking at the basket, and then the ball goes in. Like, I get like that. Like, that's superhuman, but like, you don't have a clue with baseball when you hit it. Like, gravity and physics and stuff is weird.
Wind and
exactly. Yeah. A stray bird, just like it happens.
Oh,
I don't know. You were so scared for like a half second. I was like, sorry, Jamie.
I was expecting that noise.
Expect the unexpected.
But yeah, Twitter had a heyday with it. Hopefully a fight doesn't start out.
Blue Jay fans were letting him have it. Be like, all right. Now that you try to do it, you try to be cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
You're not.
You're not cool. Mm-mm. Get your act together, bro.
Karma.
You know what they say about karma?
I can't say that word on here.
It's not very nice. Just be nice to people. But yes, think before you flip. I think is a good rule of thumb. I think would be a good thing.
I agree.
One of the other fun things, I don't do a lot of winter sports. I want to, but it doesn't help that I'm here for 12 hours a day. So I don't really have a lot of free window time to go snowboarding or skiing or just in general go sledding.
Winter sports are really expensive also. You
also
can't buy
very
a
true.
$20 basketball and go to your park. Or you can. You can't just buy a $500 snowboard and go down a hill in your backyard.
Just a random hill. Be like, hello, hill. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't heard, some folks were out in the Breckenridge, Colorado area doing some snowboarding. That's kind of cool. But if you see from the video here that's on the screen right now, they were joined by somebody. A moose was literally chasing and or running with them down the slope in Breckenridge, Colorado. I enjoy it. But if I saw a moose hauling some serious ass down the slope next to me, I would be terrified.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
they're not
this
small
is it. Like, this is done. Like, thanks. It's been a good run. Like, this is my last snowboard ever. I'm about to just
I love
get
you, Mom.
Trushed. You know, I'm gonna be like that matador that got my eye knocked out, but with a moose. Like, this is not who dies by a moose. No one's gonna come into my funeral and be like, how did he die? He got hit by a moose.
And I think it's a female moose too, so that's embarrassing.
Right. Our female moose viewership just dropped because you just insulted all of the female moose-eye out there.
Moose-eye.
Is that what it is? Moose-eye? Mooses? I mean, moose is moose.
Look at all those moose.
I'm sure it's just moose. We'll ask David. He's a literacy guy when we talk to him here in just a moment. But yeah, that's a little strange, I guess. Brew referencing, Good Morning Brew, by the way, he references, going back to what you were saying about odor, he says karma chameleon. That's what they'll say about the bat flip sort of a thing, just being like, karma, like, gotcha, sort of thing. So I've never heard of a karma chameleon, but maybe Brew will have to elaborate a little bit more on what exactly a karma chameleon is. It sounds like a drink or something. Like, give me your karma chameleon. Not your caramel, maybe your karma. Maybe if English was a good thing for me some mornings. Have
you coffee?
Not yet.
Ooh.
Not yet. I've been in the habit of having my coffee after this show, so you get the most raw, unfiltered version of Baxter in the morning. I think it's safer for all parties involved. I'm just like, good morning, like, give me coffee. And you're just kind of like, meh, whatever.
I had coffee this morning.
Well, then good. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
Anything else brewing this morning, Jamie, before we get to David Kenyon?
Nope. I think we should welcome David on.
I think you're right about that. All right, so joining us now on the Morning Brew is a man we have mucho respect for and love his opinion about the sports world. And it is David Kenyon of Bleacher Report. David, good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad to be respected. That's two now.
There you go. Boom, boom. You have to answer the question now for us as well. Is moose plural? Like, I guess I feel like I should know this.
Yes, moose is plural.
Okay, so if I see, oh my gosh, there are 5 moose over there. It's not moosin or mooses or moose-eye or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, mooses would just be ridiculous. Be like, I don't know. I'm going to be done. Anyway, let's talk about college basketball because that's something I actually have a general-ish clue about, even though at this time of the year, who really knows what's going on? But some play-in games last night, David, that I guess were people surprised by some of the results for? Kansas State, of course, advancing. I don't think too many folks are surprised by that, but your thoughts about opening night of play for the madness that is the NCAA tournament?
I thought we couldn't ask for anything more, really. Mount St. Mary's played well. I love their 5'5" guy, Junior Robinson. Just aggressive, went to the rim a couple times, creative finisher. Obviously, you have to be when a lot of people on the court have a foot on you. but he was knocking down some big shots too. And the big part was they held Eric Thomas scoreless in the second half. He averages 19. He had 12 in the first half, but didn't get anything after that. And then in the second game, Kansas State played really good defense early and survived bad defense late.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the score lines too. I mean, as you were mentioning, with we couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, you have a 67-66 game there with that Mount St. Mary's game, and then Kansas State a 95-88 win over Wake Forest. But end-to-end action, as you mentioned, kind of all evening, and really just a small sample size of what we're really going to get here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, and it's another thing where, yeah. I don't really know how competitive the games are going to be. These aren't, I don't really view them as the NCAA tournament games. I still think they're play-in, which is a shame for some like Mount St. Mary's in New Orleans, which win their conference tournament, and then they don't really get that tournament experience. But, I mean, it's more basketball, and you got two teams that know everything's on the line. It's just enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely. Looking at the tournament here kind of now as we get ready to settle in, of course, a lot of folks have a good idea of their bracket, saying all right, well, we know that this team is going to be good, or we think that Kentucky is going to go really far. But I feel like a lot of people, Jaymee, and I mean David as well too, people forget about those 6 through 9 seeds basically. Your Miami's, sometimes your Michigans, your Northwesterns, your Maryland's, even Creighton. What can we expect from some of these teams? Is it even worth putting them past a round of 32 at this point?
Well, the biggest thing to remember is that the Sweet 16 seeds tend to come from 6 and above. You'll get 2, maybe 3 double-digit seeds that get to the Sweet 16 on average. The first round is much different. The 5-12 and 6-11 upset is historically actually the same, about 35%. So you want to have those in your bracket, but beyond the Sweet 16 is really wishful thinking.
Is there anybody that you see being a big upset that will surprise us in these next couple of days?
I think the major one to look at with how far they can go is Rhode Island, an 11 seed in the Midwest region. They play Creighton first, and Creighton has really stumbled down the line. They started off so well, but then they had a guard, Maurice Watson, who is now in some serious legal trouble. But he tore his ACL, and ever since then they've been bad. And Rhode Island has some shooters. So if they get going on the perimeter, Creighton's going to be in some serious trouble.
Talk to me about the team that I see on the wall behind you, the University of Miami. You and I have talked about Miami occasionally just because of your the team that you enjoy following, but you've mentioned to me multiple times even throughout the year, Miami's really not supposed to be that good this year, and now here they are with a shot to take Michigan State here in the first round. Your thoughts about what the U has tried to put together going into this tournament?
Yeah, what's really fascinating about the program itself is 10 years ago, I mean, they were trying to compete and not really doing a lot. They're a mediocre, average kind of team. But then they hired Jim Larinaga, who was the architect of that George Mason Cinderella run 11 years ago. And this year was supposed to be a down year, but they have some real talent, especially Bruce Brown, who is a borderline first-round pick if he would go out this year, and probably a lottery pick if he'd stay for next year. And then you get a great matchup with Michigan State, where you have Tom Izzo. Everybody knows Tom Izzo, and he's the master of March. So it's a great contrast where Miami plays a lot of defense, and that's going to make them a tough out, whether it's Michigan State or they advance to play Kansas or any other team. They've beaten North Carolina. They've beaten Virginia. They've beaten Duke. But they've also gone through these massive cold stretches where a team like Michigan State that can rebound well with Nick Ward and Miles Bridges down low, if they limit second chance opportunities, Miami kind of becomes a team that relies on the three-pointer, and they really only have 2 or 3 guys who you're comfortable taking those shots.
One thing that we hear a lot about in the NCAA tournaments is the one seeds as well too. Folks are always saying, well, don't ever put all 4 one seeds in the Final Four because March Madness, blah 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 sort of thing. Do you have any surefire one seeds that you're like absolutely Villanova, absolutely Kansas? Like who can folks really think, or at least who has the easiest path to get to the Final Four from those one seeds that are in play this year?
I would be most confident with North Carolina. Villanova and Kansas, I think yes, but there's just the possibility that Kansas plays a bad game early. Historically, too, Bill Self teams have done that. So if anybody gets in foul trouble in the front court for Kansas, they're going to have some issues. Villanova, I like Villanova a lot. I mean, obviously, you're supposed to like the number 1 overall seed a lot, but there hasn't been a repeat champion since Florida a decade ago, and over the last 40 years, there have only been 2. So you kind of have to weigh that into as much as you like Villanova, but I still have them going to the Final Four.
Fair enough.
Were there any seeds that surprised you? Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kentucky, before they went on their 11-game win streak, was not seeded at 2. So is there anything that kind of surprised you before all that came out?
I honestly was surprised by both Wisconsin and Virginia Tech, which is going to be a great matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I thought those were 2 teams battling for 7s, and that was the first bracket released on the show, and they went 8-9, and I was just like, wow, we are going to get some big shakeups here. I enjoy Virginia Tech. I've watched a lot of Wisconsin. I've watched a lot of Virginia Tech, and what's fascinating about the Hokies is they bring 2 of their best scorers off the bench. So Wisconsin really needs a good start and get into that defensive rhythm, because I'm sure you guys know just as well, Wisconsin, if they get in an offensive struggle, that defense better be going, because Bronson Koenig and Nigel Hayes, if they're not hitting to complement Ethan Happ, Wisconsin's in trouble.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It can be a very long night for Badger fans, in all honesty. And yeah, that's the beauty about it. I mean, whether it's Virginia Tech or Wisconsin that wins that game, I think you're going to get a hard opponent for likely Villanova there in that second round. So things to certainly keep an eye on, things that we'll definitely have to keep in touch with you about as well, too. David, we appreciate your insight. Do you mind giving us a little bit of an idea of who your Final Four teams are before we let you run?
I haven't totally locked down. I do a ton of brackets. I love this time of year. But then today I sit down and I do my bracket. Like if somebody asks me, all right, who are your teams? Or if I want to give a bracket to my dad so he can play against me, I give him this bracket. And right now I'm leaning toward Kansas, UCLA, West Virginia, and Duke.
Wow. West Virginia. Interesting. I never even thought about that, but certainly something to keep an eye on, that's for sure. And if it does happen, you'll be the first person we go to be like, look at you, David, you were right, West Virginia. Well done, sir.
Wait, do you make your dad a bracket and then you play against yourself? Is that what you just said?
No. If my dad wants to play against me and he makes his own bracket, then I'll send him this one and be like, okay, this is my bracket that you're competing against.
Okay, super confused.
I was a little confused there, too. I'd be like, he's just playing against himself? Like, I don't understand.
But here, Dad, you can pretend that you made this one. That's what I thought you were saying. My bad. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Too funny. All right, David, where can people find you on social media and find your work as well, too, to keep up with you this time of year?
You can find my work at Bleacher Report, and then I'm on Twitter at Kenyon19_BR.
Fantastic. David Kenyon, always a pleasure, sir. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, there goes David Kenyon here on the Morning Brew on Brew Sports. Some great insight from David. Yeah, he's definitely right about the whole Wisconsin thing, honestly. If they decide to start slow, it's going to be a very long and painful and terrible night for Badger fans. We'll never hear the end of it be like, woe is us, Badger fans, woe is us. Like, oh, stop. You guys shot your own self in the foot. When you're the one that bought the gun, put the bullets in, and then pointed it at your own foot, like, you can't be mad at yourself for shooting yourself in the foot. It's not how it works. You don't get to plead guilt. You don't get to plead innocence on this one. Be like, what do you mean? I didn't try to shoot myself in the foot. Like, you bought the gun. You pointed at your foot. Okay, like, stop. Anyway.
But the safety was on.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all, honestly. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't be stupid. Dan wants to know, who is this guy I've never heard of? Anyone this knowledgeable without an earbud? It's true, Dan. He is a legit contender. David is one of the very best and brightest at Bleacher Report, and we are thrilled to have him as part of the Brew Sports Network as well, too, as one of our correspondents. So a big thank you to David for his insight. I believe somebody that knows you here, Jaymee, throwing a little bit at you here. I'm not sure who.
It's my aunt.
Oh, what up, Aunt Marilyn?
Hey, Mare.
Saying hey.
Hey, girl.
Mare's impressed with this show and host. Well, thanks, Mare. We appreciate you. I love that. What up, Mare? My new favorite person.
Big family affair over here.
I was going to say, every time I see the last name Evers pop up, I'm like, all right, how are they related? See, most of my family doesn't usually chime in. My dad has a Facebook. My mom has, like, this secret Facebook account where it's, like, under a pseudonym, and she just, like, keeps an eye on me. I'm like, Mom, just get a Facebook. She's like, but I don't want people to add me. I'm like, you are in charge of who adds you and who doesn't on Facebook.
Mare just got a Facebook, I believe, yesterday. So
what
this
up,
is
Mare?
all new.
Holy
I don't even
cow.
think she knows what Facebook Live is.
My girl, Mare. Get it. Go, Mare. Anyway, anytime I hear Mare, I think of Grey's Anatomy with Meredith Grey, because they call her Mare on there. Be like, Mare. Anyway, I'm sure it's not Mare, though. I'm done. Anyway, our favorite person is back in the media once again. I don't think he ever really left the media, honestly. LaVar Ball, chatting it up. Chit-chatting, talking here, talking there.
Is it chit-chatting or is it just blurting out?
Just spewing the nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this or not, Jaymee. We yesterday during halftime, Tanner was reading quotes from LaVar Ball, but he was reading them in Donald Trump's voice. Because if you literally had no context to what LaVar Ball was saying, you would think that it was almost Donald Trump.
Tanner can do a Donald Trump impression?
To an extent,
okay.
yes. It wasn't bad, honestly.
Okay.
It really wasn't bad. And it was a little terrifying, but also cool at the same time. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out here on our Facebook page on Brew Sports. You can find all of the past shows right there for you. You can also go to our website, brewsportsnet.com, as well, and our YouTube page as well, to stay up to date with all the great things that we do here on Brew Sports. But LaVar Ball, a couple of days ago, was on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, which is weird. It's a weird show. But he was just kind of just talking in general about, really not caring whether or not people like him. Like, I don't care if Michael Jordan likes me. I don't care if Charles Barkley likes me. Like, I support my kids, and I want the best for my kids, and I don't care what anybody else says.
Which, okay, good for him, but at the same time, does he need to tear other people down while trying to build his own children up?
I don't think so. Like I said, you said it as well, too. Like, why do you can't beat Steph Curry. Your kid's not good enough to beat Steph Curry, so why do you... I get being confident.
What did Steph Curry do to you?
I get being confident. Like I said, if my son was really, really good at playing the piano, I'm not going to start calling out Mozart. Be like, get up, come on, Mozart, rise up from the dead, because my son would be able to soliloquy all over your ass. Not soliloquy, that's just theater. That my son could write a sonnet, or not a sonnet. I don't know. I have been out of the music world too long. Help me. A symphony, that's the word I wanted. Symphonic music and stuff. Anyway, it's the same thing though. You're calling out people that clearly know their stuff.
Right.
Stop talking. That's like me being a casual actor being like, all right, Mel Gibson, you and me. I bet I could outact you.
Yeah, and he just he just sounds dumb now at this point.
He does.
And he doesn't care, so cool. So we should just stop talking about him, because I don't care about you. LaVar.
What kind of a name is LaVar?
Yeah, you're dumb.
Yes, the ultimate insult. You're dumb.
And that's all I got.
Just stop, LaVar. Yeah, I don't think so. That's partially why I hope that UCLA just kind of crashes and burns out of the tournament, so that way we can all stop talking about LaVar Bell. That would be great.
I wonder what's going to happen if they do lose, and then LaVar's going to be like, they did that on purpose. Not their year. Next year.
They did it on purpose.
They got this.
My boys do what they want.
Yeah.
I guess so.
My boy threw that tournament. Ha! Look at your brackets now.
Yeah, right.
That's what it's going to be.
Probably. Let's see. I don't have UCLA. I have UCLA going to the Elite Eight in my bracket, so my bracket would be a little schwasty if they decided to just bow out early. So hopefully that doesn't happen. You were bringing up Russell Westbrook before we got on the air today about some phenomenal things that he's been doing. What's going on with Big Russ over there?
Last night during their game against the Nets, he had a triple-double, and the crowd went nuts, gave him a standing ovation, chanted for him. I'm a huge fan when people, even from opposing teams, appreciate a good player.
Right.
Or a good play, or a good anything. Like, if I'm watching a Packer game, and everyone's like, face mask, and it wasn't, I'm like, that wasn't a face mask.
Like, shut your
but
mouth.
diehard Packer fans are like, nope, his
Clearly
pinky,
face mask.
I touched it. I'm like, it's not,
I hate Packer fans like that.
do
I just
I
hate
love-
fans in general like that.
Yeah, do I wish it was so we got some yards?
Well,
Duh.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not what happened.
yeah, so shut your mouth.
So, but I the first quarter, the crowd was chanting MVP while he was at the foul line.
MVP.
He finished with 25 points, 19 assists, and 12 boards in the 122-104 win.
Shoot. This is his third triple-double of the season. People are saying he's basically...
33rd.
33rd. Did I not say that?
You said third.
Third. 33rd. His 33rd triple-double of the season, which is basically on par to have him average a triple-double a game, which I don't know which is unbelievable, really, no matter how you slice it. It's one of those things where you look at what he's doing right now. It's kind of like when Steph Curry was just shooting the lights out of the NBA a couple of years ago, and it's like, look, you're witnessing history, so embrace it and understand that you're probably never going to see something like this again for a very long time.
Right. The last time this happened was in the 1961-62 season when Oscar Robertson had 41.
Classic.
So he just has 15 games to catch up with him.
I love it.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Good for him.
Maybe Oscar should come back out. You don't see Russ challenging Oscar Robertson like LaVar.
Right.
Be like, I could take you, Oscar. Be like, boy, sit down.
Sit
down and shut up.
Yeah, no, I think it's good for Westbrook, especially all the drama that happened in the beginning of the season. This gives him a little bit of time to shine a little bit and show that he doesn't need all the help that everyone said he needed to be a good...
Well, he needs help because Oklahoma probably isn't going to do anything when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah,
but what do I know?
But he
himself, yes.
Correct.
Yes, you're not wrong. Yeah. I mean, when you look at this, I mean, I think we got your opinion about this right in the beginning of when we first started on Brew Sports about the whole like Curry Durant like split feud sort of thing. Like, what side of the fence were you on that again? I don't remember.
I was on the do whatever gets you a ring on your finger.
Do whatever gets a ring on your finger.
Because that's the goal.
Words to live by, Jamie. Words to live by.
This finger. Just kidding. I don't even know if that's the right one, is it?
What
hand is your ring on? Okay,
Mine's on my left hand. I couldn't, honestly, because you turned your hand, and I'm like, is that her right hand?
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
Jamie, no wonder you're
laugh.
still, you're like, propose to me. Be like, it's the wrong hand, Jamie. I'm not going to give you a ring if you don't even know what hand to put it on. No, I'm sure that's not the case. Do you enjoy your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you get hyped up for it? Like, oh my gosh, my birthday. Or are you like, it's my birthday. Look at me. Love me.
No, not to that.
You're
I'm
not that
like,
girl?
let's all get together. But I'm not like, I'm going to wear a sash and a tiara. And
Did you do that for like 21st birthday or
No.
18th or 16th?
No.
No?
No.
You weren't on like the MTV. What was it? Like My Super Sweet 16?
16. No, I didn't get a Sweet 16, but I won't go off on that tangent.
Maybe you should. I don't think Ken's watching, so go ahead.
I think he is.
Is he?
I don't know.
Ken, identify yourself if
think
you're
he's there.
watching. No, go ahead. I'm curious.
No. No.
No? Okay, fair enough.
I snuck a boy in my camper, and my brother's friend told on me, so my dad took my birthday party away.
Awkward as your 16-year-old birthday party. Mm-hmm. Come on, Jamie.
And it was my golden birthday. Still salty.
Still salty. 10 years later,
coming for you, Ken.
hashtag still salty. Ken, we're looking at you. Well, if you didn't see the picture on Instagram, Steph Curry got a birthday cake for his 29th birthday. And there's been very mixed reaction about Steph Curry's birthday cake. You look at it, it's got the pi symbol. Of course, he was born on Pi Day, March 3rd or March 14th, 3.14. I can count. It says happy birthday, Stephen. A little Golden Gate swoosh there for the Warriors. But the one thing that really has people just losing their damn minds is the fact that they put a mouth guard on this cake.
Do you
Why?
think?
Why are people mad about that? It's
Right.
not a real mouth guard.
I know, and he's always chomping on that thing anyways.
It's as signature to him as me with coffee. I don't know.
Right.
Like I mean, look at it. It's all it is just
Fondant.
Yeah,
fun.
it's not like he was gnawing on his mouth guard and then he's like, oh, Steph, throw that on the cake real fast so we can take a picture and be like, look at the most Steph Curry cake ever. Like, no.
It's just sugar.
Just a bunch of sugar with, it says number 30 Curry, and then it's got his logo on it as well, too, for being one of the greats.
Which is probably
of this
also
time.
sugar.
It's all sugar. Everything is sugar.
Yeah, I don't know why people are freaking out about it. It's not gross. It's literally, his mouth guard is always hanging out of his mouth. I think it makes sense.
I agree.
Everyone needs to get over it.
I completely agree.
He's not naked sniffing someone's butt in a maternity picture, so
That's just, yeah.
he's doing
Russell
all right.
Wilson, what was that, man? I thought you were cool, Russ, and then you decided to go and do that. So strange. I mean, do what you got to do. Everybody lives their life differently. But the reason I bring up the cake is to bring up an age-old debate that I feel like must be talked about. Is what is your favorite baked good? Because people like I know people that are like, I will have cake, no pie, but give me some cookies. Hate brownies. Like, people are all over the place with what they love. But when it comes to baked goods, and if somebody was like, I will bake you whatever you want, what's your go-to baked goods? Like, I gotta have this.
My favorite, I don't know if this counts as a baked good, but like sweet, is my grandma makes these cream puffs.
Ooh.
So it's a cream puff, and then on the inside she does like this chocolate filling and this cream puff. That is like my favorite sweet in the entire world.
Cream puffs. That's interesting.
I don't like the cream puffs at the state fair, but the ones that my grandma makes are to die for.
Maybe your grandma should put them at the state fair so more people would like them.
Maybe. When my younger brother came home from the military, from the boot camp, he was in the Marines, they waited at the airport
with cream
with
puffs?
a cream puff.
Oh,
because that's what he asked for.
I love
which
that.
Is cute.
Let us know your favorite baked goods below. I am a classic man. Give me my straight out of the oven chocolate chip cookies. That is my
chocolate chip
go-to.
cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies, straight out the gate.
Milk?
Right out. Yes, my wife is more of a milk gal than I am, though. She's like, gotta have milk to have cookies. Like, for me, I'll eat a cookie and be on the go. She's like, need a glass of milk, need my cookies, dip, bite, on my way.
This girl I work with, Heather, makes the best chocolate chip cookies. So the next time she brings them in, I'm going to steal them.
Heather, bring them on down.
They're
here.
super
Maybe
good.
I'll talk. Maybe we'll shout you out on the air, and I'll mispronounce your last name like we did with Alicia yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out how to say her name?
No.
Come on.
I know.
You had one job yesterday.
She wasn't there yesterday. I'll find out on Friday.
Find out on Friday. Be like, Alicia, how do you say your last name? Because we were talking about you. Pepito. It's probably what it is Pepito. Lo and behold, shockaroo, Big Kenny checking in here, saying, hey, yes, I am, and I want to hear it.
And yes, that's true.
Yes, it is true. Have you guys moved on? Have you rekindled your relationship?
Yeah. He's all right.
He's all right. He loves me. I mean, you're in his profile picture.
I know, because I'm the best daughter ever, and I took him to a Packer game for his birthday.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, clearly you're the favorite child.
I had to make up for the
swearing and being like,
in.
you're the worst dad ever. I hate you. No.
Yeah. I was more mad at my brother's friend. Like, why are you telling on me for having a boy in the camper? And there was another girl in there with me, and it was just a friend. So,
just a friend. The age-old, it's just a friend. Be like, we've all had friends before. My wife was a friend before she now turned into my wife.
I was 15.
Uh-huh. Look at that. That's a face of guilt right there. She can't handle it. She can't handle it. Yeah. Okay. Just a friend. All right. Anyway, Jeff says peanut squares are his go-to for the loved bakery treat or baked goods.
I don't think I know what that is.
Peanut squares. I'm not a big fan of said peanut squares, Jeff. It's not that I don't mind peanut squares, but like I said, it's not my go-to. I'm a chocolate chip cookie guy first. After that, I love me some apple pie, as we talked about a couple of days ago. My go-to in high school, my pumpkin cheesecake muffins. That is to die for. I do say so myself. I yelped myself a 5 out of 5, like satisfied customer, best thing of Baxter's baking ever. Gotta love it. I'm also a big red velvet cheesecake fan. Like Cheesecake Factory's red velvet cheesecake.
Cheesecake's so rich. It's too rich for me. I can do 2 bites and then I'm like, ugh.
Well, it depends on the type you get, though. Everything is different.
Yeah, but I only like
I can't do the chocolate on chocolate dipped in chocolate. I can't do that.
I like the Oreo or the Butterfinger or the whatever.
Those are fine. Mm-hmm. But the red velvet for me is pretty good. And then my wife is a big tuxedo gal too. She loves the half and half, with whatever. I don't know what all goes in the mixture of white and dark chocolate. Basically,
okay.
She loves that. But that's always the biggest thing when we go to Cheesecake Factory and we're like, well, we don't each want our own pieces.
You cave and you let her pick, don't you? you.
Usually.
Yeah,
and
you're a
that's
nice
why,
guy.
like, the other day, like, we were driving by Cheesecake Factory a couple weeks ago, and we were like, we should get a piece of cheesecake for, just split it for dessert after dinner tonight. I'm like, sure, yeah, sounds great. And then, of course, we sit in the parking lot for about 5 minutes, like, what do you want? Well, no, what do you want? And then we go back and forth, and I'm like, all right, you get the tuxedo because I know that's what you like. I will not have as much of it, and I know it ends up working out better for you in the long run because you get to eat more of it.
Oh, Baxter.
Have your tuxedo. She comes back out. She's got a red velvet in her hand. I was like, this girl.
Liz.
I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, I wanted to make sure. She's like, we always get tuxedo. I just wanted to get a red velvet. She's like, I don't mind red velvet, but she's like, it's not. She's like, it's too cakey for her. So I was like, oh my gosh. # best wife. She's my favorite wife I've ever had. She really is.
Cute.
Of my only wife. I do want to make a quick little hey hi there to my son Beckham. He turned 4 months old today.
Hey!
So a little shout out to there, little B, if you're watching with mom there at home. Happy 4 months to you. I love you very much, and I will see you later today. So just got to get that little doodad bit out there. So. All right, so moving along here with the sports world, Wasted Wednesday is what we'd like to talk about at this point in the show. And Wasted Wednesday is normally, usually it's not a good thing. People are like, I'm getting wasted because this happened, because we lost this game, this person got hurt, LaVar Ball won't shut the hell up. Like, people drink for ridiculous reasons. Sometimes it's joy. It's like, we won in triple overtime, or we won an 8 overtime hockey game. Like, I would want to drink too, but don't feel like just... what's going on? Like, stop. But what's your Wasted Wednesday today, Jaymee? Is it good, bad, or otherwise?
Mine's a little different. Well, I kind of have two. My first one is that in the National Women's Hockey League, their first transgender player, he will be retiring after the season.
You say the National Women's Hockey League?
Yes.
Okay. I had to make sure I heard you properly because then you said he, and I'm like, well, wait, I guess that makes sense.
His name is Harrison Brown. He announced yesterday that he will be leaving after this season, and he has been a huge movement for, transgender players. It's the first openly transgender player in a professional sport. So there's that. So it's just a little sad. For personal reasons, he's going to go and continue becoming him.
Or her. Or it.
Him.
So she was a she, and now she is a him, but he was a she is still in the women's professional league, but not anymore because she, it, he, them is retiring.
Yes.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm trying to track here because sometimes I don't know from whence they came to where they were going.
Okay. Yep. So I think that some people will drink because they're sad that an iconic person is
leaving
their league.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah. My next one is Green Bay fans probably getting a little wasty pants. Everyone's pretty butthurt about Eddie Lacy. Meanwhile, Eddie Lacy is getting wasty pants off of China food, which I did not know was a thing because it's Chinese food, Eddie Lacy. But Seattle's happy with him being a little chunker. You just chunk on.
Chunky chunk there,
you
Mr. Lacy. I don't know why you would ever want a running back that is over 250 pounds. Why?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me why.
Pete Carroll said he's a big back. He's a big guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I guess.
Keep chunking. Chunky.
Chunky away. He has his Campbell's Chunky Soup or something. Remember those commercials back in the day?
Chunky. No, that's hefty.
That's hefty. Whippy, or whatever it is, isn't that? Or something like that, I think. You can't bring it up and then not know.
I thought it was chunky.
No!
Then I
hefty. And then like whippy, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All right, well, my Wasted Wednesday circles around the New York Knicks, which don't get a lot of press because who knew New York still had a basketball team? I didn't. No, I'm kidding. I did know that. The New York Knicks saw one of their starlets, Kristaps Porzingis, go down with an injury last night, causing fans to go into a blind rage and start drinking excessively. He said his thigh is stiff. The Knicks reported that he has a contused left thigh. He did not return to the game. I have heard numerous different timelines for how long he will be out. At the same time, people are saying, well, the Knicks really aren't trying to do too much anyway, so who cares if one of their best players is hurt?
I thought he sprained his ankle.
Contused left thigh is what they at least reported. I mean, yeah.
I mean, maybe. You're right, I'm sure.
Yes.
And sometimes I feel like they're, like when I first read it and I thought it was an ankle. I was like, it's not. Like, I sprained my ankle on New Year's and still trotted around in my heels that night. But then I realized that he's also a foot and 3 inches taller than me.
7'3".
Yeah,
He would make you
that's
look
a lot
small.
of man to like lug around on a sprained
It
ankle
is.
or a contused thigh or whatever's going on.
Somebody, Joseph Flynn on Twitter, tweeted out a picture of the upcoming schedule for the Knicks, and he said, "Fear not, fans. Looking at the Knicks' upcoming schedule after Thursday, they'll be favored in precisely 0 of their upcoming games." So he's like, it really doesn't matter that we lost our best player because we're not favored to win anyway because we're trying to tank because, boy, do we suck. Go Knicks. Seriously, like, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, Aaron says Hefty was garbage bags. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that, Aaron. Aaron's got my back.
I understand that now.
Do you?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Reiterating back off of what you were saying, too, about Eddie Lacy leaving, I don't necessarily think the Packer fans need to be that worried about it, honestly, because Eddie Lacy hasn't done much since he was in Green Bay anyway. So
and every time he got the
make
ball,
him Seattle's
was
problem.
Like,
what was that? You're like, what?
No, because I know you're going to zoom in on my eyeballs.
No. Just need Jamie's camera on. I was thinking we're gonna do the entire show just with Jamie and the screen because you don't need to hear. You don't need to see or hear me. It's the Jamie's facial expressions, where she just is like that's what you need. You need to be able to see that basically as she does all those most random weird things. No, that's not at all the truth. But either way, if you're Packer fans, calm down, relax. You've got Ty Montgomery. Go and sign somebody, maybe, possibly. Maybe that'd be a good idea. If not, just draft like 43 running backs and cut all of them and then just go with Ty Montgomery because we already know that's what you're going to do anyway, Ted Thompson. So do what you do, guys. I don't really think I have met no Packer fans in the last 48 hours that have been honestly mad about Eddie Lacy leaving.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I have a tweet.
Do you have?
I have a tweet.
Why are you mad if you're a Packer fan that Eddie Lacy's gone? Are you mad about the general void of running backs, or are you mad because you lost a really good player? Because you didn't. You really didn't. You lost a player that can't keep his weight under control and gets tired after running 0.2 feet and makes out with random girls in Milwaukee clubs when he has nothing better to do with himself.
Yeah,
like that's
eating
not
China
who you
food.
Want. Eating China food and playing video games. Like that's not the guy you want on your team. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Here's the tweet I got. Have fun. Have fun eating your way into retirement, Lil Easyana 42, whatever his Twitter name is. What a waste of a pick you were. High hopes turned into shit. Good luck, man.
Well, obviously he had high hopes. I mean, he was from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. I don't know what Roll Tide, like, there's no, like a hand signal. It's like hook 'em horns, like, for University of Texas, and, like, go Badgers, like, at the W. But, like, what is, like, does Roll Tide, like, you just, like, a little, like, whoosh. Like, I'm sure there's a hand signal, because people always, like, Roll Tide, and, like, all right.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Like, what is, like, whoosh. I'm sure there's a little thing for Roll Tide. But he was already, I mean, he fell to the Packers. I was really excited. His rookie year, of course. Great for the Packers, great for football as a whole that Eddie Lacy was in the NFL. As soon as he got injured, as soon as he realized that, hey, I can make money and still really not do much, well, shoot, that's the dream, and I can get paid to basically stay at home and play video games? Heck yeah. I lost all respect for him. I was like, you have no reason to be on this team anymore because you literally are useless. And I think he's going to ultimately damn Seattle, and I'm glad that he went to Seattle because that means we don't have to deal with Seattle come playoff time because they won't have a running game because they thought Eddie Lacy was the answer.
And his chunky little self. I think, too, maybe this is just because I'm super biased. Like,
not true.
The Packers, for the most part, are not in the news or on social media for stupid stuff, right? So
correct.
It's always, like, positive. Like, everyone kind of has it together a little bit, whatever. During the summer, all you see is Eddie Lacy just getting shit-faced at local Milwaukee clubs, eating China food.
It's not good for the image that is the Green Bay Packers.
Right, because they're not known for that kind of crap.
They're not. That's the thing. And
they're not on a boat in their Timberlands and their jeans either.
Yeah, how'd that work out for the Giants?
So, bye.
Bye, Felicia. We ain't even mad about that.
Bye, Eddie.
I would love to know if you are a Packer fan, please comment below if you are honestly sad that Eddie Lacy is gone. Because I really believe the people that I've seen on social media are mad by the lack of depth now at running back, not mad about the fact that they no longer have Eddie Lacy. It's not like we had Le'Veon Bell on our team like the Steelers do, and we were just suddenly like, you know what, like we just don't want you anymore. Like, no, that's not the case. Lacy has been inconsistent. He's been injured. He's been just a hot mess, and we decided not to re-sign him. You can't be mad about that. Go draft a couple guys. Go sign a couple guys. Move on. Yes.
There you go.
Just got to get that out there because like I said, I have yet to really meet any Packer fans that are just like, oh my gosh, Lacey's gone.
My heart.
We're all gonna die. Like, stop. Like STAHP, like stop. Like, shh. You're fine. Aaron says more food for us now. You're right. The state of Wisconsin, who was dealing with a poverty and hunger issue, can now suddenly allocate all this food that was going just to feeding Eddie Lacy now to the inner cities of Milwaukee and Green Bay to feed the struggling populations. It's a great move. It was they did it for the good of the state of Wisconsin.
Sure.
Yes. I completely support that. Well done. All right. What other things we need to talk about here before we get out of here? Anything else that you wanna hash out or bring up or talk about?
We maybe want to talk about the winter storm hitting the East Coast.
Bum bum bum.
And people making the best out of it.
They have.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, a couple of gentlemen from Jamie's favorite restaurant website, Barstool Sports, went to Times Square and were playing golf in Times Square. No, it was not with golf balls. Please, can't even imagine trying to just like swing a ball in Times Square. That would be terrifying.
Well, in the snow would be even harder.
Exactly. They brought tennis balls and they were playing just a makeshift golf course. Basically, they were working on their putting. They were just having a good old time. Honestly, it was kind of a cool little thing to see, and it was cool to even more so see that Times Square was literally vacant. Like there was like maybe 4 people there aside from these guys in Times Square. Kind of a cool little scene, honestly.
Yeah. You never. I mean, it's always littered with tourists, so.
It is. Have you ever done anything crazy like that, where you just like go to a random place and start messing around like something like that?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
No? I've played soccer on top of a parking garage before.
I do so many fun things all the time that I can't keep them straight.
Or a straight face. My life is literally just one continuous exciting wheel of excitement that I can't even give you an example because I myself don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I get that. Completely get that. Yep. Corey says, yeah, good riddance. He's a terrible dancer. Yep, completely agree with you on Eddie Lacy. Jeff says, just don't believe that Ty is the answer to running back. I agree, Jeff. He's not. But Packers obviously realizing that Ty Montgomery is a better option than what Eddie Lacy has at the moment. Aaron says kids in Africa can finally eat again. True. Very true. I think it's kind of a cool scenario though with the guys golfing in Times Square. You get to do cool things like that. I mean, everybody loves to be able to get out and play fun things, and I mean, it's iconic Times Square. I mean, people are like, oh, I played Augusta at the Masters. Well, how many people can say I played Times Square? Like, that's kind of cool.
Right.
You know, like, any of these are just 3 random Joes that are out there messing around. Like, these guys aren't golf pros. This isn't Tiger Woods who's out in Times Square driving 350 yards down the center and taking out the drop ball there for New Year's or whatever. Like, that would be fun as well, too. But be that as it may. Well, I don't think, and they didn't get in any trouble for it, did they?
Not that I saw.
Yeah. Busy posting pictures, I'm sure, though, of cute women on their website
right.
And all that other stuff, which is a whole nother rant. Do you have a rant for me today at all? I don't think you rant until Fridays, usually. Jamie's rant is on the docket for Friday.
Yeah, I don't have a rant today. Today's good.
Today's a good day.
Today is a good day.
I agree. Well, Jamie, if we don't have anything else to hit on in the sports world, and I think like everybody's just kind of dying down a little bit as well, too, we want to then take a special moment to thank David Kenyon for joining us from Bleacher Report earlier on in the program, and for you wonderful people as well, for commenting, for sharing, for just continuing to help grow Brew Sports as a whole. Please tell your friends about it, because without the word of mouth, without all of you continuously telling the world about what Brew Sports is, the network isn't going to grow. Jamie and I are going to be trying to go eat with Eddie Lacy because we can't find food anywhere on the streets. So we appreciate your continued support with that. Go check out our website, brewsportsnet.com. You can subscribe to all of our podcasts as well on iTunes. Just search for your favorite Brew Sports show, and you will find us there as well, too. Jamie, closing thoughts from you as we bob and weave out of here for another great day.
No, I hope everyone has good luck with their brackets. Mine I did it last minute because I promised Baxter I'd get it done yesterday, and I did.
Did Ken fill out a bracket? Do we have confirmation?
Probably not.
Ken, you could win $100, first place.
Yeah. Or a date with me. Hello. Just kidding.
Hello. But you still have to pay for it, Ken. That's the final stipulation. Jeff wants to know, before we go, I guess, if either of us have ever golfed. Yes, I golf. I enjoy golfing occasionally. I've also foot golfed as well, too.
What's that?
You play a golf course that is tailored to soccer. You play with I think it's like an 18-inch hole, basically, and you kick a soccer ball instead of hitting a ball with a golf club. It's fun. It's all the rave. Kids are doing it.
I've putt-putt golfed.
Putt-putt. I enjoy a good old
have been
putt-putt.
to a driving range. I am not a good golfer.
You don't have to be a good golfer to golf.
But I feel like people behind me will be so irritated because I can't.
You're like, gosh, Jamie, just hit the ball.
Yeah.
I think it's just fun to go to a driving range and just whack a ball. It's
Yeah,
like, here we go.
Took my dad for Father's Day probably a couple of years ago.
Nice.
God, I'm a good daughter
You're
to
a
you, Dad.
great daughter.
Man, good thing you only got one of me. One of them.
Ken, you are a lucky man.
duck.
Lucky man. All right, well, on that note, that's Ken Eber's daughter. I'm Kurt Colburn's son. No, that's Jamie. I'm Baxter. We'll see you guys next time on The Morning Brew. Coming up next on Brew Sports, you can catch 2 Up Front live at 10 a.m. Central Time with myself and Simon Provan as we tackle the hard and exciting world of soccer. Stay tuned for more exciting content. We'll be back here on The Morning Brew again tomorrow morning for another exciting edition. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys next time on The Morning Brew. Enjoy your day, everybody.